We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store. As it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Seattle Seahawks. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. You look at this Browns defense. They're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Yeah, this defense for the Browns, they were fantastic a week ago in their win over Houston.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Here we go. Lightning and keys.
From the gun, here's Willis. Well, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The drive starts with a carry by Corum. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 10-yard line.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Man, and he hits him in stride. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. On play action, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
A gain of 15. 1st down, Cleveland.
To throw is Nix. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now it's Nix. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. When you talk about this Seahawk defense, and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they've played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early in offense.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
To throw, here's Nix. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to 25 there. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll just get rid of it.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Nix to the air. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Willis looking to throw it. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Ready? Bronco, unlock line. Unlock line.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
7 Pirates. 7 Ready? 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
Willis looking to throw it. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Torrey Horton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. Throwing Nix. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the...
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they went standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Moody good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one's mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Diggs.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 4. They run straight ahead with Corum. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. 3rd and 2.
A gain of 2. Brings up 3rd.
They'll try and run for the first with Corum. And he is going to have the Browns' 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. Corum now on 1st and 10. And it's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give them a fresh set of downs. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And that's going to be caught for Browns touchdown. Jamison Williams, a 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Browns have got it back to within a score. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile we do have an injured player.
Jason
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go. Ready.
And going right back to Walker. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Strike. Cougar 19. 79 Broncos. 19 Lions.
Here's Willis. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. That one caught. It's Horton. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Come on. Ready.
Now Willis. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
18 Cardinals.
Now Willis. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second and 10.
Let's go now. Mustang 19. 70 Rangers.
Willis wants to pass it again. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Jake Moody on for the field goal. A 34-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They can force the field goal.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Bombers.
A final shot before break. Nix. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Browns drive about to get started. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, and 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they still got a shot.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
46-yard line.
Off the play fake. Nix. Now he's going to step up and run. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
He's got room to roam. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Muscles by at the 25. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trenton Simpson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They'll go play action with Nix. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Blake Corum with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
The kick is good.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game.
17. Jason Player is set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Cougar 19, 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger, 18, Pioneer.
They go play action with Willis. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Parker, I think this will want to ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Here's Nix. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments.
And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, he saw his quarterback seeking that and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kenneth Walker, 61 yards. And the Seahawks have retaken a third-quarter lead. Moody good with the extra point. And that gives him a 3-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here we go on 2nd and 12. ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the gun on third down, it's Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards.
Third and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball. And on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him. And somehow he turned a short pass into a first down.
That's another Browns first down.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Off play action. Nix. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Kevin Park, 60, Buffalo 18. Cup 19.
Willis looks to pass it here. Smith and Jigba with the grab. That's good for a gain of 6. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
Find that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
79 Broncos. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers. 60 Mavericks. 60 Mavericks.
To throw, here's Willis. Complete, it's Johnson. And he's going to be touchdown, but he's got the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
Willis. Now he'll tuck this and run. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready.
Now to the ground, here's Walker. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Willis to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Ready.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At the Browns' 14-yard line.
Let's go now.
And Walker once more. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and that should just about do it.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Here's Walker. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal, and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the Browns signal from the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
To throw is Nix. Finding Schultz. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. Now it's Nix. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man that's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. So they needed the onside kick. They got it. Now they need a field goal.
And that's the beauty of this. They don't have to get 6. A field goal ties the ball game for them. Nicely executed play.
The Browns drive about to get started. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive if they watch the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And this game is tied. And here in overtime, a quick reminder, the game no longer ends following an offensive touchdown on the opening drive. Both sides will have the chance to possess the ball unless there's a defensive touchdown. In that case, the game will end right there. So it's the Seahawks who are going to get the first crack at things. They'll possess it to start things off here in overtime. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they get the ball first here in this overtime period. Remember, even if they score a touchdown, it's not over. There's always a chance to go and score a touchdown the other way, but they can certainly get a leg up with a solid drive here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially. It's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped. And I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body, because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the west.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Here's Jones. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys. They're like sudden death right from the beginning. But we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Up the middle, here's Corum. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll get that complete to Franklin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust, and you know are going to make the plays. What they say.
But as the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got into overtime.